project, open mic. Let's get the show off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause
it's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
Let's get the topic straight. Let's get things good. Let's do everything that we should.
It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right.
Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight.
It's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right. It's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right. It's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right.
I apologize for a little mixed up there. I was off a little bit, but hope you guys are doing well. This is your boy Take for Project Open Mic. One second here. All right. Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys have been. It look like you guys been enjoying my little, Straight No Chasers Daily. Again, remember, it's I know you didn't do it this week, but I got stuff coming up, so we're going up. So it's Monday to Wednesday, 7 to 8 o'clock Eastern time, where we talk about random topics and just have a conversation about it. Now, of course, you guys are here with me right now with Project Open Mic, of course, and then you have basically on Sunday is a new thing now. If you guys basically, I go to this church called Passage Church, and I'm just supplying and get people out there who the word. If they want to go and listen to the word of God and stuff, they will go listen this Sunday at 9 a.m. I also myself is in that service listening to the word, so I'm right there with you guys when you're listening to it, so you guys could check it out, of course. In that regard, let me get myself straight. All right, there we go. The word. So again, we're talking about the books of Exodus from my pastor, Pastor Matt. And again, indulge if you want something on Sunday. So we're trying to give you something almost every day. Almost. We'll see how it's gonna work out. We're still trying to get the side chat back up and everything. But other than that, thank you guys for joining us. Again, we are on multiple platforms. Again, not only are we on YouTube, and again, sooner or later, I'll be that right there. I want to change that and put all the other platforms, of course, as you can see. But we are on YouTube, we are on Stitcher, we are on Spotify, we are on Tempo FM, we are on YouLive, YouNow, Nico. Twitch TV. What else we got? Yeah, Twitch, Facebook. We're on all these platforms again, and then when I call out the numbers of viewers, it is mostly a combine of all of those. So again, most of we don't get that much on YouTube, but again, people go out there and subscribe, and you will catch up with YouTube, or put us in as Project Open Mic on Spotify or Anchor or Stitcher. We're trying to get it on Apple Podcasts. That we're working on that. Again, Nico for the people in Japan. Thank you. We get a couple hundred views there. We got a couple of views in YouNow and YouLive as well. Thank y'all for that. Right now we're up to 517 on YouNow and 715 on live. Live. Sorry. YouNow is 517 and 750 on live now. And then Nico we have about 100. YouTube we have about Just to give, I'm an honest person. YouTube, we got about 3 people watching. Facebook, we have 4 people watching. These are live. Twitch people, we have 2. And again, and Tempo FM at this point right now, we are at 9,000. So again, and it combines and combines and combines. All right, but again, if you want more content, most likely is on YouTube and Tempo FM, and I need to update more other stuff to get it more lively. But I've been going through a lot of stuff right now, so again, give me the chance to do it. To do that, same thing on if you're on Facebook, you'll see on Facebook. So you want to get past shows and watch anything, but the best catalog is YouTube. To be honest, right now, so just go with that. We're gonna try to get it back up on locals and all the other platforms that we need to get it onto as well. Like I said, just the Apple stuff. So house cleaning is done. Tonight's topic is about now that they talk about the lies. I mean, I've proven these lies wrong before, but there when you get more evidence and more evidence that proves the point, you gotta talk about it. So that's what we're gonna do. So 1 second here. Let me just readjust the camera. I gotta get a better camera, which I will be getting soon. Don't get it wrong, but for right now, just that's for now. I'm gonna get a better one sooner in the future. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so January 6th. We're gonna prove that I've done videos on January 6th when it was more up to date and whatever. The timing was different. Everybody's talking about it, but the lies was there. But we cleared up the truth. We cleared up the timeline in past show that the timeline everybody's talking about, and then you're gonna find out, yeah, there were antagonists inside there that started problems. Doesn't mean that you should go in there and do horrible stuff, but it still was not what the media made it out to. So we're gonna be talking about that. Also, we're gonna be talking about the cops. Sadly, cops of the liberal cities have basically made it more harder for. They say, I love how the politics like, well, we're doing this for black people, but you make it harder for black people. Not shocking surprise, and also cops is just hurting the people in the neighborhood. And of course, last we're gonna play the audio, of course, because we can't play the video. But Cris Rock released his special last week, Selective Outrage, which is a perfect title about selective outrage. So that's the name of it. Literally true. I should have called the show that, but that would have been a better title. I don't think about it now. I should have called it Selective Outrage. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But hey, we're gonna play the clip between him and when he talked about Jada and Will Smith. Because again, Will, you let your wife destroy your legacy, and you are part of it too. I'm not blaming Jada only. Will, you that was just messed up. So let's get out for the dilly dally in. Again, thank you guys for coming in. Again, if you're on any platforms out there, hit the like button and share, subscribe, wherever you at. Help us out in the algorithms in every place you can. But I'm really thankful if you guys, there's more content on the YouTube. So go to Project Over Mike on YouTube and help us out there. Alrighty then. So let's go and have talk about this situation here. So let's bring this up. Because people need to understand where I'm coming out, and I'm just proving a point. Again, and there's nothing more I hate, and you're going to see in the videos too. I'm proving both parties are indulgent in this, and it sucks. There's nothing I hate more than a Republican than a Democrat. I don't care. Those parties are just insidious things. So let's bring this up and let's play the video.
Tucker Carlson was given 40,000 hours of surveillance footage from inside and outside the Capitol on January 6th by the new Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. And last night he aired his first segment showing that footage, the footage that the liberal media, the Democrat, Marxist Party doesn't want you to see. Briefly, this is how CNN reported one particular fake incident from that day.
Officer Brian Sicknick died after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the fight. He'd served on the Capitol Hill Police Force for more than 12 years.
Actually, that's not true. The security footage and the timestamps show him standing here, perfectly healthy, wearing a helmet, by the way, after the supposed fire extinguisher incident. And the medical examiner ruled that he died later of natural causes. So, of course, nobody was arrested for his supposed homicide because there wasn't.
And let's not forget that, again, I can't, sadly, that the lady who did got shot because she did something stupid. Yay, she did get hurt and she got killed. And that's, you don't do stupid stuff like that. Okay, this whole storm and everything. I will condemn that no matter what people is. It's peacefully organized and put together. But it's not what the media made it to, and it's not what politicians made it to as well. You politicians are not above nothing, okay? You're human beings just like anybody else. You should not get harassed. You should not get harassed no more than anybody else. And you should be protected to a certain degree. I get that. But my point of saying this is just like I said, you're supposed to be common people. Most of y'all bastards make millions to billions of dollars on seats doing evil heinous acts, both Republicans and Democrats.
One. Other footage shows the QAnon shaman, the face of the insurrection, peacefully walking through the halls of the Capitol building, often being escorted by police officers.
Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
And for that, he was sentenced to over 3 years in prison. Of course, CNN and MSNBC, the entire liberal media industrial complex, is furious that Tucker now has the evidence exonerating the QAnon shaman and hundreds of others who were falsely arrested that day.
I think this just shows that Tucker Carlson's the real king inside the GOP. And so
I can't help it. I really can't, because this guy, he won't stop until, because he's a special type of person.
Piece of loser.
Yes. Yes, he is. But anyway, let's keep going.
you see Kevin McCarthy now grovel before the feet of Tucker Carlson last.
No, he did not.
A leader inside.
Dang it, I had the wrong button. No,
Tucker
he did
Carlson
not.
was given 40,000 hours of surveillance, is furious, falsely arrested.
Of Tucker Carlson last year, you remember when Ted Cruz called January 6th, he said it was a terrorist attack. He had to go plead with Tucker Carlson for forgiveness in a really awkward interview. This shows that Tucker Carlson really calls the shots, not those traditional GOP lawmakers. The power.
Do you even listen to your dumbass? But I'm not going to say it.
Dynamics inside the GOP has completely shifted to people like Carlson on Fox News.
Tucker's team also found some very interesting footage of Ray Epps.
Yep, and trust me, listen to this again. You gotta be careful when you're doing protests and all that stuff. But I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised this guy was who he is, because he was a jackwagon. He should not. He just watch. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Under public pressure, the January 6th committee finally interviewed Ray Epps. Epps told the committee that he never entered the Capitol and therefore never committed a crime.
Oh no, he didn't do that. But he had on a Trump hat and instigated stuff. And this man is a registered Democrat.
His text messages showed that at 2:12 p.m., he boasted to his nephew that he had, quote, orchestrated the protests at the Capitol. Epps testified that when he sent the text messages to his nephew, he had already left the Capitol grounds to return to his hotel room. That is not true. The surveillance footage we found shows that, in fact, Ray Epps remained at the Capitol for at least another half an hour. You're seeing that on your screen now. What was Epps doing there? We can't say, but we do know that he lied to investigators.
And, of course, he won't.
Oh, shocking. He lied to investigators. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Won't be indicted for perjury whatsoever.
Of
Ray
course
Epps
not.
is the mysterious man who was telling people the day before and the day of that they needed to go into the Capitol. Then he was seen here whispering something into this man's ear 2 seconds before the man charged the police and breached the barrier, thus allowing the crowd to enter Capitol grounds. Not only was Ray Epps never indicted for any crime, but the Democrats and the liberal media are defending him.
Mr. Epps was in front of...
And this is what I'm trying to say. The only thing is kind of weird, even I just told you what he is, but this, again, a man wearing a Trump hat, and then you got Democrats protecting him. Yeah, okay, I believe, yes. I believe my lying eye is telling me, all right, sure, okay.
No. January 6th committee, and we were told that a transcript of his interview would be released, but it's never been released.
You guys are trying to make this poor schmuck who showed up to your protest into something a lot bigger than he is.
Listen to the reason of this guy.
Okay, he's just trying to survive, and he's on your side. You don't have many voters left. You might want to try to hang on to them without demonizing and vilifying your own people. You guys ever read the book by Mary Trump about the way that Donald Trump has absolutely destroyed their family, wrecked her father's life? They do it to family, they do it to friends, they do it to their own associates and employees. And now you guys are doing it to this poor Ray Epps. Leave that guy alone, whoever he is.
Whoever he is, who ain't got two brain cells up together can't see how this was worked out. Yeah.
Nani?
This dude orchestrated this stuff, so what do you expect? But whatever.
Just leave him alone, whoever he is. He didn't do nothing. And now we know that the FBI had up to 8 informants in the Proud Boys, of course, in leadership roles, and in the Oath Keepers. In fact, the number 2 in command of the Oath Keeper was an FBI informant.
Shocked.
The FBI has a long history of entrapping people and inciting them to actually commit crimes that they never would have without the intervention of the FBI, and then arresting them. And then the headlines say that the FBI foiled a plot that literally they themselves created. If you're not aware, back in the 1990s, the FBI directed one of their informants named Ahmad Salam to befriend the group of terrorists who would later try to blow up the World Trade Center in 1993. And if he hadn't suspected that the FBI was going to throw him under the bus and secretly recorded conversations with his handlers, directing him what to do and what not to do, he would have been arrested as a co-conspirator because there would have been no evidence that he was, in fact, directed by the FBI and was working with them. And then they just mysteriously, supposedly accidentally, forgot to stop the attack from going forward. So
I know, right? Miracle how that works out, don't it? But let's continue along with the same path. And like I said, even the difference with Democrat and Republican, both parties is indecent into this.
That Tucker Carlson has obtained security footage from inside the Capitol building on January 6th, exonerating Jacob Chansley, showing that he was being escorted around and given a tour by the police, and debunking countless other lies from the Democrats and the mainstream media. And so Tucker aired that footage on Monday. Check my video from yesterday. I covered the highlights. And so Chuck Schumer is so upset that he gave this press conference yesterday.
Rupert Murdoch has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth.
I think
you piece of loser.
Slimy bastard.
You mean how he has shown the truth?
Exactly.
And from letting him go on again and again and again.
So the most powerful man in the Senate is demanding that the CEO of a news company censor news that debunks lies that the Democrats and the liberal media have been spreading for over 2 years now.
Because our democracy depends on it.
Our democracy depends on censorship.
Lies.
Of course, the old bags on The View have some thoughts.
Last night, Tucker Carlson took a page from George Orwell's 1984 and told his viewers to reject the evidence of their eyes and ears.
Actually,
Whoopi, have you read George Orwell's books? Have you? That's not how it was said. What the? No, that was not what. Good Lord, you all people are so brain dead at any joke.
The evidence that the Democrats have hidden from people's eyes and ears, which is Orwellian. Footage like this, which clearly shows the officer leading Mr. Chansley, trying to open the door, which turns out to be locked. So I guess they'll have to try to find another way into the Senate chamber. And by the way, the reason that's blurred is Fox News blurred that door for security reasons because the Capitol Police and security officials just wanted to help keep some things private for obvious security reasons. Yeah. But it's not just Democrats and the liberal media who are upset.
Republicans too.
Mitch McConnell, the human turtle, is also upset that the truth is getting out.
My concern.
I don't get how this old bag. The only time I've ever agreed with this man, I'm gonna be honest, is when he did not use the same power to do the what do you call it? I forgot the name. But we give the just the simple vote. Thank God. The nuclear power to by simple vote to pass laws. Thank you. When Trump President Trump tried to do it, he stopped President Trump to do it, and I was on Mitch McConnell. But that's the only time I'm really said I defended Mitch McConnell. Because again, you need to go. Because again, remember after this a question, who was the first person to get money from Barack Obama? Was his state, Kentucky. Literally, I think it was $2-something billion. Literally, right after this question, he got the money.
Concern is how it was depicted, which is a different issue. Clearly,
Mr. Chansley did nothing wrong.
The chief of the Capitol Police, in my view, correctly describes what most of us witnessed firsthand.
Obviously, he didn't watch the security footage that Tucker Carlson aired.
Of course he didn't.
On January 6th. So that's my reaction to it.
Oh my goodness.
It was a mistake, in my view, for Fox News to depict this in a way that's completely at variance with what our chief law enforcement official here at the Capitol thinks.
Yeah.
What are you going to believe? The chief Capitol Police officer?
Oh, your lying eyes.
Replying to one of the clips that went viral on Twitter, Elon Musk said, besides misleading the public, they withheld evidence for political reasons that sent people to prison for far more serious crimes than they committed. This is deeply wrong, legally
and morally.
Since Joe Biden is in hiding and afraid to face the press, Karine Jean-Pierre, his chief propagandist, was asked about the footage yesterday.
Give me the strength to listen to this crazy lady.
Last night, Tucker Carlson cherry-picked the video surveillance from the January 6th insurrection.
He ain't cherry-picked. He showed the other side of the videos, my brother.
Cherry-picked? I think you mean he found the hidden footage that exonerates Mr. Chansley, but continue.
severely downplaying the events of that day. He said the mob was orderly and meek and that they were tourists. And
yeah, about 99.9% of them were. It was a mostly peaceful protest by Black Lives Matter standards. In fact, really the most peaceful ever.
Instead of insurrectionists. What's your response to Carlson and to Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who granted him access to that video?
What a difficult question. This is the kind of guy who would remind the teacher that there was supposed to be a test scheduled.
Anybody who watched that video would strongly disagree. Anybody who watched that video with their own eyes in a real way.
What? In a real way? Lady, we just showed a video. He just walking around with the cops leading him. What other way are you seeing it?
And saw what happened on that day would disagree with what was just stated.
It wasn't stated. It was shown.
The president has been very clear. January 6th was the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
I just showed a reason.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What?
Nani? That was the worst attack on our democracy from since the Civil War. Oh, chick, I could come up with a lot more than that. Are you out your flipping mind? I don't know. Let me just think. Let me just pull some stuff out of my head here. Travis, think. September 11th. Thousands of people died. Thousands of people got sick. People died from planes and everything. That was an attack. No, we don't. Let me see the next one. Let me see. Think of another one. Try. Think of another one. Come on. You could do it. How about all the civil attacks that the KKK did to people to destroy our democracy? Wait. No. Let's not do that. That's also not good. You know, thousands of people died again in that one, but you know, can't have that one. Oh, I remember Pearl Harbor. Yeah, how about that? When again they attacked Egypt. Yeah, people died in that one too. What the hell, crazy lady?
And we should be focused on making sure that never happens again.
The worst attack since the Civil War. Even worse than 9/11. Huh?
Thank you.
By the way, that wasn't a little oversight of 9/11. That's literally a Democrat talking point, that the January 6th, mostly peaceful protest was worse than 9/11. Here's MSNBC's Joy Reid with perhaps the ugliest wig I've ever seen in my entire life, with one of her wacky guests.
And to me, though there was less loss of life on January 6th,
yes, that's the whole point. That's why it's not worse. It was less loss of life. One person died, which was that lady. The other one we don't count that because it was a heart attack the other day. That's it. 2 people. If you want to go up. 2. Thousands of people died on September 11. Hundreds of people died in Pearl Harbor. All the Civil War and civil fights we had in the 60s, in the 60s and 70s. Those are way worse, bruh. But y'all crazy in y'all mental head.
January 6th was worse than 9/11 because it's continued to rip our country apart and give permission for people to pursue autocratic means. And so,
says the person who wants autocratic powers.
Actually, sir, it's the liberal media that is tearing the country apart.
Yep.
Your average American couldn't care less about January 6th. And if you mention the date, they wouldn't even know what you're talking about. Here's another MSNBC regular, Steve Schmidt, echoing the insanity.
The 1/6 attack for the future of the country is a profoundly more dangerous event than the 9/11 attacks.
How?
Okay, that's enough out of
you. Yeah, y'all crazy. Did not do that. Y'all do y'all just look at the cards and just y'all really do just look at the cards, just read it. That was a horrible thing to do. Like, y'all, lemons.
Everyone needs to.
Lemons. That's what it's all about. That's what it is.
Meanwhile, this is the man who is in charge of our country.
And I had these terrible headaches, was diagnosed with having anyway, they had to take the top of my head off a couple times, see if I had a brain.
Sometimes I wonder that myself, sir, Mr. President.
That's not a deep fake, by the way. This is him talking about the brain aneurysms that he had back in the late 1980s, which nobody in the liberal media talks about. Here's the New York Times. Back in 1988, Biden resting after surgery for second brain aneurysm. Of course, you can't talk about the fact that he had brain surgery because that would further the narrative, the facts that maybe he just doesn't have the mental capacity to be the most powerful person in the world. By the way, did you hear that Joe Biden recently got diagnosed with cancer? That's not a joke. And thankfully, he's going to be fine because it's fairly common for people in their 80s to get diagnosed with skin cancer. Because when they were younger and they were enjoying their summers outside, sunscreen hadn't been invented yet. And so Joe Biden had a little piece of an anomaly on his skin, taken off, sent to the lab. Turns out that it was cancerous. It's been removed. Thankfully, it didn't spread, and he's cancer-free. But can you imagine the chaos in the mainstream media if the same thing happened to Donald Trump? It would be the top story for weeks. They would be speculating about whether or not it's spread in further parts of his body. And does this mean that he's unfit for office? And what if it spread to his brain? We need to pray that Joe Biden's health remains intact for the remainder of his term, because the alternative would be this woman who...
No, son of a bitch!
Not, I know.
Who is seen here telling another fake story about her childhood.
In fact, I'm going to share with you a very simple story, which is that I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things.
Oh, I hate that laugh. Oh, I hate that laugh.
I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
No, you can't.
You don't want someone getting any more airtime, do you? So please pray for Joe Biden's health. Speaking of
Exactly. All right. So you got the point right there that I pulled up, and they're hitting that right now in this situation. Look, I said it right there. I did a video on January 6th. The timelines never matched up with what the liberal media try to put it together. And again, should people be going starving to the capital? No. But it is, according to what I've learned in civics and everything before all the country fall apart back in the 90s, it's the people's house. They should go through whatever. Again, the jabronis and the jackwagons who went in there and put their foot on Nancy Pelosi's desk and everything, I condemn that. You should not be doing that. That's just being a jerk. Excuse me, being jerks. But they should be able to get into the Senate and in the chambers. They should. That's what it is. And it just showed that the guy did not rush in there, didn't beat nobody, didn't hurt nobody. He just walked around with police escort to walk around the Capitol. So, no. That's just pointing out that situation. But anyway, we're going to swing the topic a little bit. Still a little political, but swing the topic a little bit. We're going to talk about stuff that affects us really, really right now. So lately, a lot of cops have been fleeing a lot of the liberal cities. There's a reason for that. Because of what in the last 2 years, what the politicians have been doing, which is stupid. But again, remember, the cops should not protect me and you. They should be protecting them. They should be protecting them. So let's just hear what they've been doing.
enforcement officers has become a daunting challenge to police departments nationwide. Since 2020, a mass exodus of officers and record lows in new recruits have resulted in critical staffing shortages. CBN's Caitlin Burke takes a look at what's being done to fill the void.
Here in Baltimore, Maryland, the police department lost nearly 300 officers in 2022 alone. Now, at unsustainable staffing levels, the city's police union warns their forces are simply stretched too thin to keep the public safe. Ranked as one of the cities with the highest homicide rates, concerned citizens are urging officials to do something.
Why do we keep losing kids? Why? We don't have enough police staff. Obviously, we heard this here. We have a net loss. We don't have a community that wraps around.
In a recent statement, Mike Mancuso, president of the Baltimore City Police Union, warned the department will only continue hemorrhaging officers if the city doesn't improve working conditions and drastically increase pay. And Baltimore isn't alone.
We are at a point now where almost every large and mid-sized police department is having difficulty recruiting new police officers to the profession. It's a crisis because police officers are leaving their agencies in record numbers, and we've got to replace those officers, and it's getting more and more difficult to do so.
In Seattle.
And again, I'll say this in that point. I'm cool with the body cameras. Go ahead and get them. I'm cool with making sure that they are straight. And if the cops are doing whole stuff bad, like those black cops that beat up that black guy and killed him and stuff like that, they all should be prosecuted as regular as just like any other person, even higher, because you was given a license to kill people. You should lose not your life. I'm just saying you should get prosecuted to the highest degree. Okay? If it's not shown that you are justified in your situation. That's what should be where the cops should be. I am not pro cop or against cop. I'm basically in the middle. I want people to do the damn right thing. Stop messing around. All right? Do the right work.
Fewer detectives are available to investigate sexual assault cases. Massachusetts State Police had to move troopers normally investigating homicides to street patrol. And in Kansas City, vacancies are causing record-long wait times for 911 callers.
I always wanted to be a cop. I always wanted to join the military. You have to be 21 to become a cop. So I just started out, went to the Army for 5 years, and then just kind of had like a seamless transition right into the police academy, and then did that for 6 years.
Now, 32-year-old Josh Blackford is walking away from what he once considered a dream job, determining the risk unworthy of the reward.
I just got my W-2 in the mail the other day for last year. I worked the whole year. I quit January 4th of this year. And my box one is $49,000 after being a cop for 6 years. And that is just
$49,000. $49,000 to be a cop, to have all that stuff. And again, I'm not talking about the pain that you got, but again, with all the more scrutiny now that's going on and everything, and people, it ain't worth it. I get what he did it. He ain't worth it.
That alone 100% solidified my decision to leave.
Low pay isn't the only reason behind this mass exodus.
Exactly.
Cops leaving the force have cited burnout, low morale, and decreasing support from state and local leaders as deciding factors. Instances of excessive force cases, like in the recent death of Tyree Nichols, also continue to haunt departments.
People are mad at you. Your administration very often doesn't support you. You turn on the TV news and you hear that your profession is a bunch of racist jerks. And then you're working 12, 14, 16 hours, 6 to 7 days a week, seeing the most horrific things that society has to offer day after day after day.
That is true. That is definitely true. And I understand where she's coming from. That is so true. And And the same people, the same jackwagons and idiots. Oh, we don't want the cops or whatever. The same people who call for the cops when things go wrong are like, where were you? You didn't like us, so we didn't came. I've played videos of like these leftist crazy people saying, oh, we don't need the cops, whatever. And then quickly, whatever, they turn around and like, oh, we need the cops.
National Police Association spokesperson Betsy Brantner Smith says departments are working to regain public trust through an increased focus on training and transparency.
American law enforcement is always looking to improve, and that's one of the things that we're seeing now.
Over the past 2 years, we've been working hard to launch a body-worn camera program.
The Aurora, Colorado Police Department uses state-of-the-art technology to ensure transparency and accountability, making sure to inform the community about new developments in their policing through social media platforms.
Body-worn cameras provide transparent, secure evidence and help to keep our communities safer.
To build trust, people have to know what you're doing, why you do what you do. And sometimes we haven't historically been very good about offering those explanations.
And there you go. And I will say that, yes, some of the cops, yes, you guys have not been good at doing that. Both sides, that's the whole point. That is true. Yes. There are cases where you're like, yeah, you guys did some wrong. But here's the thing. We're humans. You're going to have bad people. But no, we do got to break up the whole good old boys thing, good old girls thing. They say, cop, particular out a cop, if it's not warranted. If the cop... Sorry. If the cop is doing something bad, yeah, other cops should not protect it if the evidence shows that the cop has been a bad cop. Point blank, period.
As departments seek to win back the public and retain veteran officers, they're also getting creative to woo new recruits.
Are you looking for a new job? Are you ready to try something new that'll make a difference at doing something really great? Well, come join us here at the Fort Worth Police Department. We're hiring.
From catchy videos to signing bonuses in the tens of thousands, departments are desperate to fill vacancies. The Virginia Beach Police Department deployed both of those strategies, along with streamlining their hiring process. That helped close the gap from 100 plus vacancies to just over 30.
They wanted to serve their community. That was the biggest reason for the new class, the recruits entering into law enforcement. They really want to reach out to their community and be a positive change in that community.
Aurora PD took their recruiting efforts on the road, targeting locations with more diverse workforces. Their first stop, New York City.
Historically underpaid, not a great work environment, commute times extremely long. So a lot of things that we can improve on if somebody made the decision to leave that organization and come here.
They struck gold with 3 former NYPD officers now preparing to start work out west.
We've recently traveled to Atlanta. We've traveled to Albuquerque. So we're really looking at, where can we target and offer a better quality of life?
In the past, departments saw lines of interested candidates stretching out the door. Now, many believe the focus on enhanced recruiting efforts is the new normal. Given that, officers I spoke with reject the idea of any sort of lowered standard. They're proud of the way they've been able to streamline the hiring process and target a new generation of highly qualified candidates. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, I love this story. I love it. It shows both sides of the debate going on, and currently the debate about defund the police. I hope that's been thrown in the ash heap of history. We do not need to defund the police. We need to honor those who are putting their lives on the line, making sure that we have the type of officers that reflect our overall community and stop the internal warfare where somehow or other the police are viewed as the enemy. That needs to end, but it needs to end on both sides.
And that I agree with. It needs to end on both sides. That is true because, again, you're going to have bad cops. It's just like you got to lessen the percentage, though. You got to lessen the percentage. Again, I remember I talked to Citizen 4 for people who are new, who watch my show. I remember we had, was it the police chief in New York? It was a couple of years. It was 2015, 14, something like that. The police chief of New York, the police chief of Miami, the police chief of Texas or Arizona, I can't remember, and California. Like they did like Miami, I think, yeah, they were saying they were saying because of the hiring practices and everything or whatever and how people been doing stuff. 20% of because they're trying to let people in because they're color, let people in because certain stuff they didn't pass certain tests or certain women pass certain tests they should have never passed. I'm saying some, not all. 20%, they said 20 to 25% of the police force should not be police. Now, this is before the stupidity happened with the whole, Black Lives Matter and all this stuff now and everything now. So they lost a lot of people. So, but they've said, but here you go. They said 25, at least up to 25% should not be police. So they are going to be bad people no matter what. But we need to have a better force. And again, if a cop does something wrong, demonize the cop. But if they're trying to do their job, and because again, they're the babysitters of the most heinous people, and they see the most horrible things, and it messes with their psyche and everything. So it's not an easy job. It is definitely not an easy job. So I want to talk about this other video, this other video right here, and I'm gonna set it up a little bit. So as I stated on the video, I am gonna put like I said, I am gonna put a church service on Sundays, the church that I go to. Again, not forcing it down your throats. You believe what you want to believe, you do what you want to do. But again, this is my channel, this is my corporation. T3 Records is what I've created, and T3 Network is the thing that I've created. All this is on me that I've done, and one of my, again, this is because the reason I have this right here is because of what my grandmother says, and she's still alive, thank God, at 95 years old and still doing great. But this lady told me 3 things about life. I have followed it. It has helped me so far, and I turned that into this right here, which is the company's name, T3. And one of them, of course, is to always acknowledge God, and He will be there for you. And that's number one, and that's what I have thing. Do I say I am more spiritual than religious, but I still believe in God and Jesus and all the stuff like that. I'm not trying to force it on y'all throats, but I believe in that. So I think just having a showing, well, me and my wife, we go to the church and show that and give you that side of us, so you can see what we listen to and what we go through. Again, that, and if you want to listen to it, tune in Sunday at 9 a.m. That's when we go to church. Sunday 9 p.m. It will be playing on the Project Open Mic channel on YouTube. I don't put it on nothing else because of the whole thing. That's not my content per se. So I am just gonna put it just on YouTube and just say hey. And again, I leave the link and everything inside the description, so you could go over and subscribe to the church's channel. And if you're in the Raleigh Durham area, if you want to come in and go to that church, please come on in. They will welcome you arms. But they are, like I said, a true religious, not such a true Christianity church that wants to make sure inviting and everything. And again, I've talked to the pastor. The pastor's a good pastor. That pastor was the person who wed me and my wife. So just passing that on. Again, Sunday, if you want spiritual nourishment, Sunday on Project Open Mic, it is that. Now the service you are seeing, like I said, you are seeing on Sundays. I have listen, me and my wife has been in it, but they are 2 weeks different. So like last week we had last week we had Pastor Michael. The week before that we had another pastor we met, and he's a good person, Pastor Michael. And my point is that we're not broadcasting the up-to-date one, but you're about 2 weeks behind. But again, me and my wife are in the services, so you could listen to it. It used to be a longer thing, but now I think they're just doing just the service, just the word itself, the sermon, But you go to Passage Church on YouTube and go to the further stuff and hear the singing, the music, and everything. All right. That said, speaking of religion and churches and everything, here's another thing that the government is doing. Something that the Biden administration is doing, and it is illegal. Literally, by the First Amendment, it's illegal. But what I don't gotta talk it. You know, you know me. I always got my receipts. So let's go and let you hear it.
As the U.S. Supreme Court considers student loan debt forgiveness, a Christian college in Missouri is asking the court to hear its case about gender and dorm assignments. If you've ever taken a trip to Branson, Missouri, you've probably heard of College of the Ozarks. It's a small, prestigious Christian institution for higher education nestled in the Ozark Mountains in a place called Point Lookout. Less than 1,500 students are enrolled, but the college receives thousands of applications from those wanting to attend there. That's because the college offers free tuition. But unlike many students pushing
Holy Jesus.
Nani? Free tuition. I like that.
For debt forgiveness, these students work for their tuition.
You work for 40 hours a week for 12 weeks, and that pays for your room and board for the fall and the spring semester.
I've worked at the laundry, I've worked at the warehouse, I've worked at the Keeter Center, I've worked in the construction department. I've done it intentionally to get a well-rounded work education.
God bless you, my young black man. This is where we wish this could share across all of it, right, kids? I wish a lot of colleges was like this.
It's incredibly important, I think, to our country to graduate people who understand that being debt-free is a good thing.
Yes.
Debt is bad. And if you want something, you work for it.
Exactly. Amen. And you're right. What a concept. Amen to that. Great concept, great thing. I am with that. I just wish a lot of colleges were like that. I was blessed enough to graduate without having student debt, and I'm blessed to have that. But who would have thought just working and just doing that would be a good hard work you? I love it. I love the concept. Very awesome.
Work hard and your debt is forgiven. This college emphasizes character and patriotism and, of course, Christian values. Back in 2021, President Biden signed an executive order barring gender discrimination. So the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, applied gender identity to the 1968 Fair Housing Act. As a result, the federal government is now trying to force the College of the Ozarks to open its bathrooms, showers, and dorm rooms to whatever gender someone thinks they are at the time.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
A biological male could room and shower with a female co-ed if he identifies as a female. C of O says that it is discrimination against them. They're a religious institution. It would force the college to abandon its biblical principles and its faithful commitment to God regarding sex and marriage.
Exactly.
The 8th Circuit Court ruled against the college, and that's why...
Of course, the courts will rule against them.
The school wants the Supreme Court to take up the case. Folks, this violates the U.S. Constitution and the right of freedom of religion. Let me remind you of Article 1 of the Bill of Rights, which says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. That means the government cannot impose another faith, in this case, woke secular humanist religion, on the school.
Exactly.
It also applies to President Biden and HUD. They cannot force a college to violate Christian principles, its beliefs about sex and gender, or anything else, because to do so would impose another belief system, in actuality, a government-conceived religion, on the institution. The Supreme Court must take up this case. Religious institutions must be excluded from this HUD rule. It is of utmost importance to American society to restate our guaranteed commitment to the First Amendment and religious freedom. If the government erodes the right of citizens to freely adopt and practice their own religious beliefs without religious freedom, the country is no longer free. And the democracy that the president and many politicians continually warn us is under threat will cease to exist.
That is true. And they have a case, because again, it is the First Amendment for that. And who would have thought Christian values will be give you that you have to work hard and earn your keep? Who would have thought? That is a good. I like that. I like that system, because that's what I had to do personally myself. I had to work crazy jobs. I had to work 2 jobs and everything, and started this company and do a lot of stuff to make sure that I was debt free. And I thank the Lord, I came out of college, debt, no student loans. Thank you. Praise the Lord. But yes, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Now, you see how they do it. This crazy woke crap is just getting into everything they need. I don't get it how 1 to 5% of the population get this much power. It all makes no sense. And again, I don't care what you want to pretend yourself to be, whatever. That's all right. But it's crazy that y'all just can't just be happy and just keep to yourself. You have to force the other stuff down your throats. I don't like Christians going around forcing things down on people's throats as well too. You talk to other people, you have a conversation, and see if it goes right. It's up to them to make the decision. God gave us the point, gave us the power to have decision, a freedom of choice. So let's have the freedom of choice. I don't like nobody forcing it down their throats like that in that regard. But again, I don't understand how they get more power than a lot of things. It's just so weird. It's so weird. Oh well. With that said, let's go to our final tonight show. Basically, I got a couple people in the chat right here that's saying this stuff. We are up to 23,258 people. Yeah, I want to thank y'all for giving me your time, ear, and everything for everything. Thank you, and your time, your ears, your hearts, everything. If you for speaking to listen to what we're saying here. I think I'm gonna do 5 minutes of that before we go on to the last segment of the tonight and talk about the good old jokes. So let me see here. So about Cris Rock, I will get into that. So comments here. Well, now we get up to 24,163. Again, thank you for y'all joining from Tempo FM, from You Live and Live Now, and Nico, and again, Facebook, YouTube. Thank y'all. Okay, let's see here. Mark. Let's see. Oh, on the January 6th thing, Mark Frost from New York. These political prisoners need to be released immediately. Alice Cooper from Washington, D.C. Throw the January 6th community in jail immediately and seize their assets to pay for the falsely accused prison people because of just for political gains. Taylor Meyer also from DC. Thank y'all for watching up in that joint. Everyone's being held in prison for a sham that needs to be released and pardoned. And the politician, governors, and official media members who lie should be thrown into jail for treason. Well, we know that ain't gonna happen. They all sleep in the same bed, so that's not gonna happen in that regard. Not at all. Jill Patton My college roommate became a police officer Japan in Oakland, California. My college roommate became a police officer in Oakland, and I did a couple ride-alongs with her on the night shift. The cop in these neighborhoods go from domestic fights to domestic fights. It's like being babysitters for adults, and she left after 2 years. That's sorry to hear that. That's what happens. Like I said, you are taking care of the most craziest, badass people, including people in California who are mentally disturbed. All right. Gia Smith. Keep criminals in jails. How frustrating it must be to see hardcore criminals released only to commit more crimes, which is, I don't get that. If they're going to commit more crimes. I had a video this morning talking about that, which you'll see. It'll be later on, of course, in straight no it's, not straight no chases. Yeah, straight no chases daily. When I was talking about like what like when they were talking about criminals, I'm like, why do you guys want to rob people? Because the problem is they came into a house. They came in the house and attacked the man's mother, and he did one of them guys. It was four people that get into a house, attacked the man's mother, and the man shot him. Shot one of them one shot. While they shot three. Thank God, none of the people instantly got hurt. So instantly got hurt, but shot and killed one of a 20-year-old. And then people say, "Oh, he should go to jail because he killed a 20." Why you in my house beating up on my mother? Huh?
Motherfucker. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
You came to my house and you hit my mom and you think I should just... Are you out your mind? No. No. The gloves are off at that point. The gloves are off at that point. Sorry, ain't playing them stupid games like that. You play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Point blank. Donna Scott. Oh, there you go, from Missouri as well. The College of the Ozarks should stand strong and be faithful to God's word. We must stand up for the moral administration. We should stand up for this immoral administration. I'm sorry. We must stand together and pray to God of heavens and earth to bless this college in their fight for their ruling, which we should, yes. D. Rich from Miami, Florida. It's amazing how we went from having people represent us to now being made to do whatever these crazy people tell them to do. Yeah. Yep. Ali G from London. All right. London, England. We need to stand firm and take a shower with another gender is something to be shared with your spouse and not with any other person who are confused. People need to understand their identity in God and not just make up whatever feels right. If I only went by my feeling in life, I'll be lost. And sometimes I was at that point, trying to do it my way because I thought I didn't need him. God's way is the best way, and nothing to be scared and confused about the Lord. Press in with the Lord, without the world. Okay, all right, Ali G. Do Kurama? I think it's Kurama. Do Kurama from Italia. From Rome, Italy. God bless all these young men and women and the college that's doing the proper thing and the moral thing. there need to be more colleges like this to show hardship into young people so they understand you work for what you earn and earn. I've been to America, and most kids I've seen now are basically whiny, weak-minded, simple babies who cry for everything like they deserve it. America's a great country, but that's the only thing I don't like, how the younger generation have become weak and weak-willed and weak-minded. I could tell you that living in America, you are correct about that for sure. These kids are getting dumber and dumber, weaker and weaker. It is true. I'm not denying that in general. In general, that's what it is. All right. Let's get into the Cris Rock stuff. All right. Cris Rock's. Now, Cris Rock's first 3 specials I have on DVD, and I think you guys should get them. I love them. I love the first 3 specials. And of course, he has other specials, and he still tells his jokes, and he gets off kilter and something, but he's a comedian. I take his jokes, whatever. But his first 3 specials was really, really good. Really, really good. And talked about some stuff that needs to be talked about. And people got angry on that. Speaking of that, yeah, let me see if I can find, before I play the Cris Rock thing, let me see if I can find this craziness that people are talking about. Let me see. I'm going to try and see if I can find it. These clowns, I would say. Okay, it makes no sense on what is stated. Let me see. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can find it. People now are arguing now with. They are arguing now that Cris Rock, what he said now in his special, which is a comedian, he has the right to say what he wanted to say. They're arguing now, oh, Will Smith should have slapped him harder, blah, 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 because they, I'm like, what? What is wrong with you people? Let's see if we can find it here.
Do 2 W-2s?
Of course, they gotta pay the commercials. So let me just get over it.
Actually, that Will Smith delivered the slap of a lifetime to Cris Rock after Cris Rock made some disparaging jokes and remarks about Jada Pinkett Smith at the Academy Awards at the Oscars last year.
Yep.
And of course, we all know what ramifications it had for Will Smith, but it also had certain ramifications for Cris Rock. And those ramifications were not necessarily negative, but he did stay relatively silent on it until his new Netflix special came out called Selective Outrage, in which obviously he addressed that wholeheartedly, and he got a huge payday from that, and I can understand why he waited so long. However, Cris Rock also took the opportunity to take special digs at Jada Pinkett again, called her out of her name, the B word, and things like that. And we know he took a shot at Michael Jackson. People didn't like that. But taking the shots at Jada Pinkett, you would think that, well, it's not so bad since Jada Pinkett laughed once Cris Rock got slapped.
Yep.
But wait a minute. You forget that Jada Pinkett Smith is quite popular, especially with her Red Table Talk show. She's an inspiration to many black women out there, especially in the entertainment world. So a lot of people did not take kindly to Cris Rock and his remarks. And then there is Candace McDuffie. Now, who is Candace McDuffie? Candace McDuffie is, I believe, a very prominent writer over at The Root. Yeah. She did not take kindly to Mr. Cris Rock.
Okay, I'll say this. She's not a bad looking woman, okay? But I don't get it. with all this stuff and then the tattoos and everything else. I don't get why women disgrace themselves like doing that, but whatever.
Making these jokes about Jada Pinkett, who she felt that she represents black women as a whole, and Cris Rock's issues with black women as a whole.
What are you talking about, Chris? He has 2 daughters.
So what I'd like to do is to play this particular segment, and then we'll come back.
Why did you think he deserved to be slapped?
It's not so much about being slapped as much as it is about accountability, right? He has made black women specifically the butt of his jokes for years.
He has made black women, black men, Pookie and Ray. Pookie. He has made white people. He has made. Have you listened to Cris Rock over the years, including the first 3 things? Yes, a comedian he's gonna relate with more people that he's in the same color. But I've listened to Cris Rock over the years. I think again after the 3rd special, I think he lost his power, and he got a couple good jokes there and there. But I think y'all woken up the old Cris Rock when Will Smith opened up the Cris Rock from what he did.
He's finally being held accountable.
I feel
like this kind of sets the precedence, going forward, hopefully that people would be more careful about how they treat and discuss, black women.
Okay, I'm gonna help you out with that right then. And I have a black wife, I got a sister, I got a black mom, whatever. All right. None of my black wife, my black sister, my black mom don't do none of this. Stop doing dumb shit. Seriously. And I didn't mean this to the S well, I apologize. Stop doing dumb stuff and stop doing ignorant stuff. No race is about doing dumb stuff. None. But why do we have to pretend and play into the perpetration that do not let them set the same standard for you? Yeah, take a joke, move on. Every race has a lower class and a high class, has a smart class and a dumb class, has a class of people. It's called tribalism. Again, I've said it in the last videos, I've said it. It just is that.
We're going to focus on your words saying, is Candace McDuffie condoning violence, saying that, that Will Smith should have slapped Cris Rock?
I think, in the literal sense, it seems like a bit much. But honestly, sitting here, calling Jada out of her name.
No. He didn't call her out of the name until she saw what happened. And at that point, he didn't care.
Making fun of her hair condition, talking about her alopecia.
Yeah.
Words can be violent as well. And as we've seen, black.
And that's why I said we're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Again, I grew up with the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. I don't care. A person who don't have no power over me, who I don't know, I will walk away. I am that sturdy. I don't care. I don't give your words life. And other people do. I don't do that crap. And that's what we need to do. We need to get back that tough skin. We used to crack on mama jokes and people never used to get angry about it. But now we become the Fabergé egg of society now. When you say little thing, oh, why did you say that?
Black girls and women, we suffer abuse at higher rates in this country. So continuing to humiliate us only perpetuates this.
Some of y'all should not, and I say some, not all, don't do stupid stuff. But
a lot of people laugh, though, when they hear the jokes and they say he's a comedian, he's just being funny.
Yes.
Maybe you're being too sensitive about it. What do you say?
Yes. It's comedian jokes.
I think it speaks to a larger American pattern.
Which is what?
Of using marginalized people as comedic fodder. And then it can also, lead to violence being incited. It can lead.
And the person who do that is mentally ill and should go to jail no matter what. I don't care, black, white, green, whatever. I don't care what that. But that's crazy. You can't crack jokes, and cracking jokes now is gonna get people to go hurt people. Y'all people have turned. That's why a lot of comedians like Jay Seinfeld, like the old like literally. I used to have watch comedy channels on SiriusXM when I used to have SiriusXM. And over the years, I had it for like a couple of years. I was like, listen to that, having jokes, la ha ha. I can't listen to the new comics right now. It's so Apologize. They're so sensitive and they're and their jokes are so bland because they don't push boundaries. Yes, there are people who can crack jokes and go further or go over the edge, and I know that. But now it's just like it's either like straight up super mean spirited or just weak jokes. And I'm like, I had to I that's literally why I canceled my SiriusXM because it was like these new jokes, even black people was like, these are not funny. These are horrible jokes. They're just boring and horrible jokes.
For us being not seen as human.
What? We're not seen as human? Cris Rock, I make jokes about everybody, and comedians have been doing that since time immemorial. So what the heck are you talking about now? We can't make jokes about people. Okay, so we're going to make jokes about what? All right, you heard it. You hear the craziest. You hear the nonsense.
So you heard what she had to say. Now, of course, according to Candace McDuffie, Cris Rock has been making fun of Jada Pinkett Smith since 1997 when she participated in the Million Women March. Also, he's painted black women in a bad light in his Good Hair documentary.
Sure.
Black women have been a regular punchline in Cris Rock's stand-up routines, and things like that. And to be fair, most black comedians, black people are the punchlines of their routines. It's always been like that. And obviously,
go back to Richard Pryor. Are you kidding me?
Cris Rock comes from a different era of comedy than
these Workovish right now. So I'll leave that in that that he's correct.
Deserve to be slapped by Will Smith. All right, let's take that for an argument. He deserves to be slapped because you don't like his positions, what he's saying about black women. But then if we're talking about equality, and if we were to say or ask you the same question, Candace, do black women who talk negatively about black men, would they deserve the same treatment?
Of course not.
Without a doubt, shadow of a doubt, I believe Candace McDuffie would say no. But she would definitely say yes if we were to ask, do black women rather deserve the same level of opportunity as black men? She would say yes. But I will guarantee you that for black women, like let's say Cynthia G, who are saying some horrific things about black men on social media, she's not going to say that those same men deserve that treatment.
No, of course not.
Or those same women deserve that treatment. And that's where the rubber meets the road for me, because black men who have negative things to say about black women should receive this. But black women who have negative things to say about black men, nothing should happen to them. And the reality is that we can't be barbaric. True. If he needs to be slapped, don't you understand that that is against the law?
Yep.
You don't hit people because you don't like what they have to say.
Hey.
Again, for somebody who is, I believe that she's a very intelligent writer and all that, you're not dealing with what the law is. And now we're talking about anarchy. We can't just put our hands on people because we don't like what they say. But that's how a lot of people in Black America feel. Oh, you don't like Dr. Umar Johnson? You need 7,000 lashes. You want to leave Jackson State Deion Sanders? You deserve 7,000 lashes.
Yep.
And every time that a black person doesn't agree with the normality or what's going on, that person should suffer, and that suffering should have something to do with the violence and violent behavior, which is pretty much damn near barbaric. It's not damn near. It is barbaric. All right? If you feel like this person is disrespecting black women to a certain degree, Well, what you could do is you could
Don't listen to
tell
them.
that person's boss and say, well, you know what, Netflix, you shouldn't hire Cris Rock. Or this person should be blackballed.
Here's the problem, though. They make money because they make people laugh, just like they try to deal with Dave Chappelle.
But that's not going to happen because they tried it with Dave Chappelle, right?
Thank you.
So the thing about it is this. Cris Rock is a comedian. He's going to easily be able to get away with those things, saying, oh, this is just a joke.
It's just jokes.
So what's going to be the outcome? I think the outcome is that the black male experience, even if it's controversial, it's not going to be so accepted. If a black woman comes out there and talks about black men in a negative way, Candace McDuffie is not going to have any issue with that.
Of course not. And that's what most of this stuff going into. So before it gets a little more later than that, let me go ahead and play the video. And again, these are women listening to this as well too. Shout out to them. But yeah, let's see here to play it. Okay, here we go.
Happened so quick. This just happened, right? So, but I did find one, and I guess we'll look at that.
Practices selective outrage, because everybody knows what the happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with it. I didn't have any entanglements.
Exactly.
I did not have any entanglement. And then for people that don't know, and everybody knows, Wilson and his wife was her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this, but for some reason, these put that on the internet.
Exactly.
I have no idea why two talented people would do something that low down. What the we all been cheated on. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television.
Exactly.
None of us. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's. How did that make you feel?
Right.
Why the would you do that? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay?
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Everybody in the world called him. I tried to call him, give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch.
Yep.
Charlemagne called him a Breakfast Club called him a and The View and The Talk and every rapper and the Drink Champs called him a. Everybody called him a. Called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a. Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. Know he could beat. That is some.
Yep. That's some weak stuff. That is some weak stuff, for real.
I do nothing to this motherfucker. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. His whatever. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because her man didn't get nominated for Emancipation. The biggest piece of shit. Okay? She said he should quit because Will didn't get nominated for Concussion. What the? So then I do some jokes about her. Who gives a f? That's how it is. Right. She started.
I finished it.
Okay?
Yep.
That's what the f happened. Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this shit.
Oh. Yep.
Nobody was picking on her.
Go, Chris.
Nobody was picking on her. She said, me, a grown-ass man should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for Concussion. And then this gives me a concussion, okay? What the man? I love Will Will Smith. My whole life, I loved this nigga. I saw him open up for Run DMC at the Nassau Coliseum. These brand new funk. I love this nigga. He made some great movies. I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life.
Respect, yeah. Yeah.
And now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. Got me rooting for Massa, okay? Hit him again, Massa. Hit him again. You missed the spot, Massa. You missed the spot. A lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night?
Right.
Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay? I got parents. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
Shout out to Chris. Again, I'm watching a special. We have Netflix, so we're going to watch this special. So, yeah, that is crazy. I'm going to watch the special, but I just played a little, whatever, the part right there. And that's what I lady before saying, oh, no stuff, whatever. Okay? It's like, oh, I should protect. I protect anybody who's with that. I protect my family. I told you guys again, take care of yourself, then your family, then your neighbors, then your community. Again, my neighbors is mixed. We got blacks, we got whites, and everything in that regard. I don't care what race you are. I just care if you're a good person. Point blank, period. I've stated in my Daily Chasers videos, I've stated again. Most people who have hurt me, most people who have hurt most black people are mostly black people. Most. Not all. Coming from the 90s, going like from the 60s and up. Not all, but most. And right now, the situation, like I said, shout out to Chris Rock. Like I said, I watched the special because what he just said had me laughing and I liked it. I've rooted for Will Smith for as well too all these years. I had a respect for Will Smith. Remember, Saul didn't want to. Was it Saul? Yeah, no, it was Pepper. Pepper didn't want to go with Will Smith because she thought he was a corny dude, and he became Mr. Summer. I remember again back in the 90s to early 2000s. Will Smith, Mr. Summer. He used to release movies that used to come out and make a thing. Wild Wild West. I know people don't like it. I liked it, but you know, Men in Black, Independence Day. Bad Boys. I was like, dang, I'm liking these movies. I don't even watch Bad Boys 2 and I have it downstairs, but I used to like it. Mike Larry. Yeah. And then when he did that Red Table Talk, when he tried to make Jada as happy as he could, and she took it upon to say he's egotistical because he wanted to give her a great 40th birthday. And he cried on that Red Table Talk. I'm like Chris Rock. What the hell, dude? You telling me I'm doing something for you, and you saying that I'm egotistical because of that? And I was like, well, you just lost your stuff, and you come to find out you got your son's friend in your house having sex with your wife. What the hell? Now, me and my wife Asa did a video about that when we talked about that before in that situation last year. We talked about that, and I was like, "That is crazy. That's not normal." Since you went to Hollywood, you got into Hollywood. You have become not him, but she has become poison. And then she came out saying that they're gonna try to do some kind of discrimination or whatever suit to Chris Rock because of the joke. Like, it's jokes. Move on. Most of it is true, but it's still jokes. What the heck is your problem? Move on. Get a life. this culture has become more tight-lipped, more panty tighten wad, all this other stuff. For what reason, I don't know. And everybody's, oh, my feelings. Like I said, I'm a spiritual person. I believe Christianity and all that stuff. But as a serious note, F the feelings like words. I don't give words power unless it's somebody who I respect to do that. If I don't respect you, your words have no power over me. And a lot of these young kids are basically hurting, killing themselves, suiciding themselves because the words. So again, shout out to Cris Rock. That was funny. I can't wait to watch the rest of the video on Netflix and give them my money for that. Shout out to Dave Chappelle the same way too. Again, I don't agree with everything Dave Chappelle said, but as a comedian, I respect the man, and I'm happy that he does that. Because remember, it was because of what Dave Chappelle said about stuff. Even though he's for the transgender situation because his friend Daphne, who was a transgender, died because of what regular people, and the transgender people said to her, and she did suicide. And then you had this crazy man got up and try to stab Dave Chappelle on the stage. People, seriously, we are getting more and more mentally ill because of the internet and everything that's going on right now. And that's why I said, going back to what you saw with the cops, again, you come into my house and beat my mom, and I should not kill you. I should get arrested because I killed somebody who tried to come in the house and try to hit my mom. Well, that's in Canada. That was not in America. In America for sure. Okay. That story, the story that I'm talking about, is not in. I could play it, but it's just ridiculous. It's not in. It was in Canada, not in America. So that's where you have the freedom of speech, freedom of rights, gun rights, the Second Amendment. Yeah, keep that straight. Me and my wife are, like I said, we are high believers in the Second Amendment as well too. So don't play that. Security is good. Living in a nice neighborhood is good, but there are always some idiot and the morons out there that might do something stupid. And before I leave, I give a better example of that. This woman was going to. What was it? Is it Uber? Yeah, it was Uber Eats or DoorDash. And this black woman had a cracked screen phone that was all messed up. And she went to a restaurant. The restaurant, which was Eastern, no, it was Italian man. I think he has a pizzeria restaurant. So she went in there and she showed a guy a blank screen, and he was like, confirm the order. And he's like, no, I need to see the order. I need to see what's going on. And she didn't, the guy was like, no, you got to confirm your order, then I'll pick it, because basically a lot of people coming in saying, hey, I have an order for blah, blah, blah. And I have an order for this, just pick it up, and then they leave with free food. So all I had to do was confirm the order. She showed the screen. He gave her the food. She literally, and then she like throws stuff off his counter and everything. Then a couple minutes later, come back with her man, and I'm telling you, black men, y'all are stupid for doing this. That's how y'all get killed so easily. Again, I've said it before, and I had my wife on at the time with my fiance, but my wife on the show, and I said, I am not getting killed for some stupid stuff like that. She went and got her man to put on a mask, which is sir, you're stupid. Went in there with his hand in the pocket and doing stuff, threatening the old man, the owner of the business, and then she came behind her boyfriend and pepper sprayed the old man in his face, because all she had to do was just show, hey, order for John James. Yep, John James. Here you go. Here's my order number. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. But, and again, who know, you could have walked in there and that old man maybe had a gun and killed your boyfriend, but you wouldn't have never cared. Just like that happened in New York when the other girl went to mess with a Cuban guy, the old man, and he went in there with a knife, and the Cuban guy took the same knife and stabbed the guy to death. You went to you lost your life because your woman was that crazy. That ain't happening with me, and that ain't happening with nobody like that. Y'all need to understand that. If you see a woman like does like that, walk the hell away. Ain't no way a woman, my woman at the time, a woman come and tell me, hey, this guy disrespected me, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what? What did he did? Oh, okay, well, we just don't go back to the pizzeria. That's all it is. We just don't go back to the pizzeria. That's all it is. I'm not going in up there and starting no trouble for nothing. Jeez. We're losing control of doing our stuff. That's the sad part about it. Me and my wife went to a Walmart in her neck of the neighborhoods. And we were there a week before that. There was a little black girl going around taking flowers from the stand they had and throwing it on the ground and breaking it. I'm like, oh heck no. And the woman, I don't know if that's her grandma, aunt, or mother. I doubt the mother. And this little girl, maybe 10 to 12 years old, is basically, she's the mother's, the lady's backing up. Like she's not, I'm like, oh heck no. Oh no. And she's cursing, saying F words and all that stuff. I'm like, nah. Society's gone off the rails. We gotta stop this nonsense. Seriously, it's getting crazy. It is. Let me see what anybody says about in the chat we have right here, just to be quick about it. Because again, give respect. Thank you guys for coming out here. Okay, so let me get this. Valera Nasoon. Again, if I pronounce the name wrong, I apologize. I agree with you completely. I used to love Will, but after what he did, I will never support anything he is involved in again. Chris handled himself well and gained a lot of respect. I gained a lot of respect for me. Daniel Resent from New York. Jada knows that deep down Will is weak. She has, and I've shown it thing with the whole Tupac stuff that Jada has done and just emasculated Will because of that stuff. But anyway, is weak and totally disband for him, and she has total disdain for him. Why he's still married with anybody is my guess. Chris had every right to say what he did and publicly humiliate that bully. Well, that's a unique name. I'll give it up. Lovin Desani. I agree. Cris Rock wasn't scared at all. He took his time to process what happened, then evaluate what he was going to do, how he was going to do it, and perfect timing to do it, and how he turned something disgusting that will follow him forever into his favor. Technically speaking, yeah, because again, instead of going there and suing and whatever, you know what? Go out there and make that money. Talk about them bad and get that cash, my G. That's how you do it. That's the smart man right there. That's why I said people are stupid, individual, intelligent. That's how you do it, intelligent-wise. Good on you. With Smith humiliating him, and now they've been humiliated. Chris made about $40 million. I call that justice. Will should still be grateful. Chris could have arrested him at the Oscars and charged him with physical assault and sued him as well. He could have, but that would have been a punk way of doing it in my way too as well. He had a right to do it, but I like the way Chris did it. Chris is a very smart man. I have so much respect for him, which I didn't think much of him before. As a black, lovely, is a black woman. As a black woman, the way he handled the situation was perfectly and professionally at the Oscars and made me so proud. His family should be proud of him. Well, yeah, because remember Tony Rock got after him, boy, got after Will and said a lot of stuff too. Will, on the other hand, has lost a fan in me. I I a poor, arrogant man. If you call him a man, wow. There you go. Ramin Marbury from Gainesville, Florida. I think the majority of us that is in our 40s have heard, don't go out there acting like a fool in front of white folks. Yeah, yeah. We are told that for a reason. You guys stated it, and they already say that we're violent, arrogant, and we don't compare us to others, compare us to animals. That's what Chris is referring to. No, I get that, and I understand that too. Rita Davis from I okay. I'm trying. It's California. What you California? Well, hopefully I think close to San Pedro or something like that. But anyway, from California, I'm just saying people missed it, or did they forgot that Chris said after the Oscar show he wasn't contracted to go on. Okay, he was contracted to go on tour with the previous material he wrote. So talking about the slap would have been written in the new show later on. Yeah, that's true. I should copy. I should copy and paste the explanation for all the creators on YouTube and stuff. And say that all we were viewing was a show on the weekend. One last Chris show, the veteran of the Oscar show. He knows, and again, the Oscars gonna lost more power in this as well too, because again, they're gonna just be bland and they still doing the same woke fish crap as usual. Tony Green from New York. If you notice, he did comply with with Will's request. He didn't mention her by her name once. Oh, that's messed up. That is true. You're wrong. You're wrong. Derek Williams from from Northford, Virginia. Thank you very much, ladies, for showing that this looks like a joke. That woman you played before makes it more why a lot of people have no respect for us. But thank you, Tig, for speaking the truth on the topic. I totally agree with you. Scotty Tate from New York again. A video that the subject matter was needed. One of our own black men was also targeted by another black man because of a black woman. It is sad. I had respect for everybody in this and for Will and Jada, but I lost respect for them now because they took the low road and is doing horrible stuff when they should never Will should have never got on stage and make a fuss out of this. I am so glad that I found your video, Tig. All right, thank you for that. Let's see, Tiffany Thermoid from Charlotte, North Carolina. His mother said it best. When Will slapped Chris, he slapped the whole Rock family. Or his brother, not his mother. His brother said that. Yep, Tony Rock did say that. Yeah. So again, yep. Well done, Tig. Well said and well done. I'm proud to have checked in on this. Michael Araba from Egypt. Cynthia Miller from Miami, Florida. Respect to you on your commentating. I remember the table talk and watch Will broke my heart. I never forget that. Yep, that's what I said. That was crazy. That table talk was crazy. Jennifer Sutton from Houston, Texas. I really enjoy watch the Chris Rock special. It was a grand slam. He came out swinging facts. Got you. And I'll do one more. Michael Sawyer from Stratton, New Jersey. I applaud Chris Rock and respect him even more. Let's not forget only excuse me. I'm getting hiccups now. Let's not forget, not only was Cris Rock forever be heard from the night, but also the man who put the show together. Can't remember his name at this time. It was a special night for him because he was the first black man to be selected to put the show together. And after all that hard work, for all that hard work is going to forever be on a black burner because of Will Smith. That is true. I completely agree. And the platform Will Smith chose was horrendous to do this. Cris Rock said it the best. It hurt him more than it hurt Will more than it hurt him. And yes, that's good. Awesome for that. That's great in that situation because again, that just didn't make no sense to do that. Oh well. Cris Rock. Next time I watch the special. Me and my wife are gonna watch the special and check it out. Out there, I hope you guys keep just an open mind of a lot of things. And again, be critical thinking. Be critical thinking of me. What I'm saying, I could prove you. I could bring the receipts and show you. But still, go out and watch the videos themselves or whatever I see, and you see what it is. Because again, don't receive your lying eyes. Because again, a lot of people are trying to push you to a certain way to think. I want you to be free forming. I want you to think, hey, I am not a. How should I say it? I'm not a slave to my thoughts. Whatever. Again, critical thinking has been destroyed in most schools and how things are going in America. And people are being cowardly now. We need to have the cops. We need to keep people in jail and stop laying them back out for stupid ass reasons. Again, apologize for cursing, but I just don't like it. Because I've seen multiple videos of people who was in jail, got free, and went on a murder spree and killed, children, women, men, all kind of stupid stuff. Which they should have never been out. That's the sad part about it. And they always look at it with these DAs, these crazy DAs, these Democratic DAs, with this whole restorative justice, which doesn't mean nothing. It's stupid, it's dumb, can't help it. So with that said, again, I wish you all the best. I hope you have a good night. Remember to check out Project Open Mic on YouTube if you're listening in other platforms. If you want to see Straight No Chasers daily and also Sundays, check out the Passage Church to get your spiritual meals and everything. All right. And again, check us back here next week, 9 p.m. Eastern. For another episode of Project Over Mike, alright? So, peace out, relax. Remember again, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your neighbors, then your community. People always talk about why I say take care of myself first. Because if I don't take care of myself, then I cannot help somebody else. That's why I say that. Yes, I gotta take care of my family, I know that. But that's why I say that first. Alright? Now remember, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creeds, height, sex, gender, nationality, location, spirit, religion. Evil comes in all. Evil is evil. Alright? And last but not least up there, like we just said, people are stupid, individuals smart. Be that smart individual. This is your boy Take for Project Open Mic. Peace out. Have a good day. And I'll catch you on Straight No Chasers Daily. Peace.